want to say good day to everybody once again, and it's a privilege God has given unto us to be here once again. This platform is called the Spirit Cocoa, and we started a series under the Spirit Cocoa. Let me first of all say the Spirit Cocoa is about sharing the mind of God concerning relationship the way it is. The term Spirit Cocoa from me came from there's a slang. As when somebody calls you, this person says Spirit Cocoa, it means we are spiritual, it means we are righteous. And so when it comes to marriage, and God aids those who are over righteous, who are over spiritual. It's in the Bible there. So when it comes to marriage, Spirit Cocoa has to do with you don't be over righteous when it comes to your marriage. You don't be over spiritual when it comes to your relationship. And so on this platform, we teach people, inform people, educate people about what is the mind of God about relationship and marriage and all that and all that. So we started under this platform. We started an episode or series of in a program still under the Spirit Cocoa. Ask the counselor where people can ask various questions, and we try as much as possible to answer it as a child of God. Last week we have some funny I have some funny question where people asking me if I'm can I be in love. I'm in love with many guys. How do I choose one? The issue of the issue with blood test, blood group, and the rest. And so we try as much as possible to answer that. So if you have missed it last week, then you need to go and look for the video on various platforms, YouTube, Instagram, and normally use Facebook as a landing for all our programs. So you can check out, look for the videos. They are there to help to bless your life. And if you know some people are going through issues and so they needed counsel, please do not hesitate to copy the numbers you see on the screen or on the crawler so they can call, make a call through so that we can help as we can. I always tell people a problem shared is half solved. The personality that instituted this marriage is still God. It's still God. So when you have issues in your marriage, it's best to go to Him. Go to Him through His Word. Go to Him to certify. When I say certify, I always like to specify people who have been trained, people who are called by God to do this specific responsibility, not because they are pastors alone, not because they've gone to the school alone, but because they balance the two of them together. Because if you go to an unbeliever who is a qualified therapist, qualified relationship coach, he will tell you or she will tell you what he needs to tell you based on his understanding, not by the Spirit of God. And if you go to a pastor, a godly person who is called but has not been trained or doesn't have any experience about these things, yes, is a child of God, but if care is not taken, he might make a mess of it, because the probability will have tradition to it. There's a probability he will say one or two things that is contrary, even though it is in the Bible. And I've shared that testimony with you, how a man of God ended a marriage because he said the husband is the head of the house and the husband has contracted a virus called STDs, and the marriage has to go, everybody has to go their separate ways. So that's you should understand. So I'm sure you see our numbers on the caller, and help us also share these videos, because we know some people need this information. Some people need this information, and if you are out there, you are watching this video, you need to have time with us. So just copy the number you see on the screen. You can WhatsApp us with the number. You can call us with the numbers you see on the screen, and I'm sure somebody will respond to you. There are so many questions that was asked on last week Thursday, and I need to. So there are so many questions that was asked So I need to respond to them. Like I always say, it's not easy for me to be sharing and then be responding to people's this thing. So let me quickly respond to one or two things that was asked. Somebody asked me last week that why is marriage so hard? And that's why I always tell people that things that you needed to be taught. They call it pre-counseling session, and I always encourage after you do pre-counseling session, do post-counseling sessions after your marriage and everything. A counselor still needs to once in a while pop in your life, your husband, the wife together, and ask you how far what's happening, because marriage is not for boys. Marriage is for matured people. Marriage is for those who are who are committed to seeing that this institution made by God, you know, is enjoyed, not endured. So somebody's asked the question, why is marriage so hard? And I understand, you know, number one, marriage is hard because two of you are coming together, different people. Any two people interacting with each other for a long period of time will experience tension. You know, I'm sure you know that before you got married to him, before you got married to her, you know, everything was lovey-dovey. You guys were just enjoying each other, having fun with each other, because you guys had not stayed together. So the moment you decide to stay together, some things begin to come up. And we take God. And that's why I always encourage people, when you have issues in your marriage, go to the person that brought you together, and that's God. So number one, understand that different people, you guys are different with each other. Temperament is different. Everything about you is different. So coming together, staying together, for a long time, some of these things will begin to crop up. It is not about the devil alone. It's just about you guys are different people coming together. Number two, understand marriage is hard because the sorrows of life. Marriage is hard in a part because life is hard. Things change. People die. Time passes. We grow old. These are simple things that you need to put at the back and the front of your mind. Remind yourself about it. When you understand this simple thing, whatever that is happening won't be a bother to you. And then marriage will become simple for you. Number three, because I want to quickly rush through this thing so that I can go through other one. Number three, like I said before, unique backgrounds, unique different people. Then number three, because of our different people, different background. You know, there's something what they call in Lagos, Nigeria, Ajebo and Ajebako. Ajebo is somebody who was trained by Golden Spoon. You know, he has everything, she has everything. Ajebako is the opposite. Maybe the place you are trained in, maybe you are trained in a GRA, you are trained in a good residence area, you are trained with servants, you are trained not to even do any domestic work, and then the other party is not trained that way, and you guys are coming together. So different backgrounds, so it goes a long way to affect your marriage. So having this understanding, because marriage is difficult because it exposes your greatest wound, whether you like it or not. Maybe like your parents never complimented you as a child, you grew up feeling the weight of the world on your shoulder. You have fear of abandonment. You assume all men are evil. You assume all women are bad. You know, all women are prostitutes. You think even women are inferior. You were taught sex in marriage was dirty. So many things come together, and that's why the role of the counselor is so much important. To like that's why I use it. I'm sure you have heard this word before. There are things you need to learn, there are things you need to unlearn, there are things you need to relearn. And all these things are process, because learning is a process, continuous process till you die. So marriage is hard if you don't understand this simple thing. Three things I've just mentioned: different people, sorrows of life, unique backgrounds, mindsets, things I've been told. Like that's what I mentioned, assumption about men, all men are evil, assumption about all women are inferior, assumption about sex, maybe sex is dirty. So all these things are makes marriage hard if you don't have the real understanding about this thing. No, so number two question quickly. Now this is funny because it should not be the bone of contention of any marriage. The person asks you, couples separate because of childlessness. Should they go their separate ways because after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, even 10 years, 15 years, they should go their separate ways? That's a lie. Lie from the pit of hell. There's no place in the Bible. Don't forget, as a child of God, your manual, the manual to your marriage is the Bible. So there's no place in the Bible that says that you should divorce your wife or divorce your husband because there's no child in the marriage. And as a matter of fact, things are evolving, things are becoming better to an extent. If you don't have child or children in your marriage, you can adopt. If you don't have children in your marriage, you can do, I don't know, there are so many things that can be done. From a gynecology, go and see the gynecologist, go and see is it ideologist, that one that talks about the sperm of a man. There are so many things that can be done these days to combat that. And more so, the focus of the marriage should not be about child or making children or having children. So there's no place in the Bible that says you separate from your spouse because you don't have children. As the child of God, I need to stress that as a child of God, there's no place in the Bible that says you should divorce your spouse because of that. Number 3, sex before marriage. I think I talked about this before. There's no place in the Bible that says you have sex before marriage. That's why I said last week, when somebody asked me a week before that the genotype, the blood group, and all that, and I said, for me, it is good, but it's not biblical. I think I remember the word I used. It is beneficial, but it's not biblical. But this one, there's no place in the Bible. Bible calls it fornication. Bible calls it immorality. So it's a no-go area. Any church, any personality, any pastor that encourages you to have sex before marriage, to know whether the person can carry a child, to know whether there are tests that can be done for that, if you must know. So there's no place, there's no sex before marriage. No church, any church that encourages that church is not a church of God, it's a church of the devil. Okay, next question. And somebody asks, how do I overcome, how does couple overcome affairs, sexual affairs? This is also a sensitive area, but it's simple, becomes simple. How do you overcome? Okay, how do you overcome an affair? Simple. The mistake has been done, and as a matter of fact, I'm not making an excuse on behalf of the person, but this is the only reason why you can divorce a spouse. But for someone like me, I'll put a clause there. They are silent. So many things that is silent in the Bible that the Bible did not really specifically come and tell us, okay, this is what you should do. For instance, an affair has happened. As a child of God, there's a place of forgiveness. So, for a couple, maybe the man or the woman has gone through an affair, you need to ask yourself as a child of God, what is the Bible? What does the Bible talk about forgiveness. One, the person that committed the affair, is he or she remorse? Is it a mistake? As a matter of fact, I tell people there are things that you don't tell me is a mistake. But remorse, mistake, willing to change, because if care is not taken, the affair will continue. Somebody that is caught in an affair, I did maybe most of the time we are taught that people that are caught in an affair, they get caught, not that they came up and say, sorry, I am doing this. So is the person willing to change, stop it? Now if there's willingness to change, then forgiveness is important. Going to the person that created marriage is important. Finally, looking for a therapist, looking for a marriage counselor is a yes. Don't forget, marriage counselor, he or she must be a child of God. So when he or she is counseling you, he or she also is praying with you. So that is important. Marriage, couples affairs, sexual affairs, infidelity, there's a way out. Forgiveness, willingness, and then, even though it's not easy, betrayal is not easy, but going to the maker of marriages makes it easy. Finally, today, why somebody asks, why are you not willing to settle down? Why are you not willing to settle down? I would say so many reasons there. How many marriages today are lasting? How many? Every one of them is afraid. Afraid of what they are saying. The devil also is playing his part also. The devil is also playing his part, painting so many pictures in front of them. And that's why many of them can, single mom, single dad these days, even Christians do that these days. So what's the big deal now? Let me harvest my egg. Let me buy sperm, and then they become a mother. But they keep forgetting the fact that there's an order of God. You can't stay by yourself. You must still go under the covering of a man. You still need a woman to help you, to be your neck while you are the head. So a lot of factors, many are afraid because of what they are saying. The devil also is playing his part. Many today are not educated, are not informed about responsibilities of marriage. So they breast it, they run away from it. Many today, because of tradition also, especially when it comes to bride price, or that traditions, they run away from it. So many of those things, these reasons are majorly the reasons why our youth are not willing to settle down. Some of them have seen the way their father and mother have done, and they say that they failed woefully. So why should I decide to go into this marriage? Go into marriage where there's a lot of suffering, a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of abuse. Why should I go into it? But the truth is this: there are still marriages today that they are heaven on earth, and they are not pretending, they're not hypocrites. Is a marriage void of challenges? No. Is a marriage void of problems? No. But regardless of what is happening in the marriage, it's still heaven on earth, because I have an understanding of what marriage is all about. For the questions that I'm seeing that's dropping in the comment, I will respond again next week. Please help us share this content, as we share, help us share to all your various platforms, to the various groups, so that people can, there's a lot of ignorant Christians out there that are suffering from so many things, and it's our responsibility to teach, inform, educate them about these things. I always say some of our churches don't have time to teach about these things. people, somebody like me, I survived so many things. If I tell some of the things I've gone through when it comes to marriage, when it comes to relationship, to shock you, because there was no materials, there was no content for me to watch, there was nobody, matured then to help me go through what I was going through. And that's why it's so I can share easily, because some of the things I've gone through. I can share easily because of the training. I can share easily because of God's call with specific code to this area. That being said, please join me on Friday. We have a video, in the general English for his video, the midnight cry. Men not to pray and not to faint. Pray without ceasing. Bible talks about when we were sleeping, that's when the enemy came to attack us, and we want to sow some seed concerning tomorrow. Join me tomorrow. I want to pray about God's mercy. Mercy that will overrule every judgment in our life from 12 midnight. It's still visual on the social media platform at Obadebola Praise. Join me November 7th for our on-site and online program, the Outpouring Street Party Praise with team. What is it again? Team Wonders of Worship. Whoa, or wow. I want to teach, want to praise God on the streets. I want people to be blessed on the street. God has been so good to us. I want to give God the praise for that. So please join me. I'm sure you see on the screen also our details, bank details. We need help, we need support, we need your donation. So if God lays in your hands to do that, please be a covenant partner of the Image Makers World. There's a lot that we do outside the social media, and as we do that, the Lord bless you in Jesus' name. So I'm sure I'm going to see you next week. Enjoy your day. Shalom.
Whoa, yeah. You are mighty God, mighty God. Whoa, yeah. Time. Mighty one. One who sits high but looks way down low. You are good, you are kind, you are more than these. Lost for words, trying to describe you. Elohim, Elion, Ale Shelevi. Greatness is all I see. There is nothing you cannot do. There's no mountain you cannot move. If you have said it, then you will do it. 'Cause you have a track record of keeping your word, and you're not about to stop doing it now. All over Ambaye, all over Ambaye, should be one low showroom. Should be showroom. All over Ambaye. By the blood that you shed, we have overcome. This charge that acquitted for life. Then you gave us the right to your holy name. Yeah.